Hi everybody, this is Susie and I have a great fun item to share with you today on behalf of Wild Orchid Crafts. What we're going to be doing today is, I want to show you, I had made one already and I wanted to show this to you. This is so adorable. This is a witch's boot for Halloween. And I initially made this and my battery died while I made it and I had no idea. So what we're going to do today is something a little bit different than this and a lot of fun. First off, I'd just like to show you that I drew the boot on a piece of paper, and you can see that by the blue pencil that I used here and cut it out. And I will have this available for you on my blog, suziecrafter10.blogspot.com, and it'll be a PDF where you can just open it and print it out, so you'll have fun with that. And we are going to go ahead and make something like this today, only it's going to be a little bit more fun than that. So let me just put this to the side. And what I did was I made two small witch's boots here to kind of look like a pair almost. And I thought these would be a lot of fun to design, and I would just have an extra embellishment around. I can either use this for my own house or just give it as a gift. And there's already some lens. I used black felt. And what I did was, it was two pieces of felt, both were 8 by 10, put them together, drew this on there with some white pen, cut it out, sewed it, turned it inside out and stuffed it, and just like you would any other pillow type item. And these are so cute. You see the toe curling up, I just love it. It might be a little bit off if I stare at it, like maybe the heel a little bit, but that's okay, because if it's uneven a little bit or something like that, it'll be really, really cute. So my plan to do with this today is, the first thing that I want to do is once you go ahead and make this item as for a Halloween gift or some type of an embellishment for your house, what I plan to do with this one was I wanted to go ahead and sew these two together. So what you're going to need is some needle and thread to do that with, of course, which I've already prepared here for you so that I don't have to spend a lot of time. And I'm just going to turn this back to back a little bit and try to get seam to seam end and just sew this together a little. So I didn't want to glue it together because I know it's not going to stay. You just can't. You can't use a hot glue for this one. So I'm out of I'm out of it for that one. So I just give it a few little loop stitches in here and just a slip knot there, and I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to go ahead, and you can see that these are nicely secure, and in the end I'll probably put something up here. So you know what I'm going to do before I go ahead and start? I'm just going to, so you can tell this is a live tutorial, friends, because all my thoughts, and as I'm going around while I'm crafting doing this, it's live, so anything goes, right? I'm just going to put a little dart in here just so that this doesn't really move around much. Okay. Alrighty, so now we have these two cute little felt boots, and again, they're probably from like your middle finger to your wrist or a little bit taller. Let me see, just to let you know what they'll look like when they come out. It's probably about from heel to heel, close to 8 inches tall. It's very cute. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that I want to do is, I don't know how you guys do it, but when I'm crafting, I like sketching out, and I have a sketchbook that I use, and also I like laying out exactly what I'm going to be doing beforehand. So as you can see, I have this as a sample right in front of me. I'm going to try and follow this, but with this in the center as a focal point. So I'm going to put my template aside, and I'm going to grab some of these really pretty earth tone tea roses, which are beautiful. Just going to get my wire cutters. Okay. I'm going to be using some of these, the two-tone tea roses. I'm going to cut the wires off that. Okay. For now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be cutting 2 of them off. And I'm going to cut one off that's in another browner color. And I'm going to hold that to the side for a second. Incorporating with this, I really like mixing, I don't know, I'm kind of weird that way. I like mixing the darker colors with the oranges. So I'm going to go with a walnut trellis rose. This is from my stash, and it happens to be one of my favorite flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts. So I'm just going to get those ready. Okay. And also we have the Cottage Roses, which are in the peach orange family. Very pretty. I love these. They're so beautiful. I'm going to take some of those out. And so I have some other things I'm going to be incorporating with this, and I'm just going to show you how I make this. So what I did was I had a piece of raffia here, and I'm just going to cut this off. And I just made this bow where you gather the bow 3-4 times and tie the knot with a piece of wire. Okay, and I just cut off. And the wire piece is green, and that's from a stem from a flower. I saved some of them because I do use them sometimes. Okay, and I'm going to try to get the idea, if you can see here, how I have the raffia in the center there. I'm going to try and go for the same exact thing right here. So I'm going to take my hot glue. I'm using hot glue throughout this entire project, friends. So I just want you to know that. Okay. Just hold that down. Okay. And then I'm going to take some of these large tea roses, and I'm going to put those down as well. And this time I use the larger roses in the center. Okay, I think those will look really nice against this color raffia here. And then what I like to do is the wires that are on the flowers, I kind of like coiling them a little bit, and I can't find the paintbrush that I normally do with this. So I just coiled the wire, put some glue on there. And again, coil the wire. I like coils. Sometimes I cut them off, sometimes I use them, but in these type of home decor projects for the holidays, especially around fall and Halloween, I like using them. And you can see how I kind of like incorporated here the walnut, which is like a grape color, and the orange together. Very pretty. And you're going to see how this is going to come along. And in this tutorial, you'll see exactly how I place all of my flowers, which I like to do the overlap and underlap. Overlap, underlap, if you want to call it. That's what I call it. Oops, that's not good. I just got a whole bunch of glue on my desk. And in this orange pack of the Cottage Roses, there's 4 different colors that are really nicely blended. There is some peach and orange, and then there's some very paley, peachy kind of pinky color here. And then there's that very, very, very buff color, almost a pink, but it's really in the peach family. So you can see how this is really nicely coming along. And what I would like to do is, as you can see here, I have a lot going on, which I want to have a lot going on this one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is very cute. This is also from Wild Orchid Crafts. You can get this on their website. I'll have the links and everything in the drop down box below. And these are the Christmas berries, but I don't have to wait till Christmas to use it, and I normally wouldn't. So anything that I can incorporate, I do. So let's see. Put that one in there. That looks very good. Okay, and a lot of times when I'm crafting, I will also take things from my stash and add it in, which I'm going to do here. Here's some other brown flowers that I have in my stash as well, and I'm going to add those in because I do love brown, and I do not have any brown flowers in my stash from my DT package. So I'm just going to push that in just to give that a little bit more of that fall look in brown. Kind of like that. You can use whatever color you like. I mean, if you want to use red, you can. Very, very pretty. And so there's also a few other embellishments that I have here, which are some of these flourishes that I bought from Michael's after the season was over last year. So I kind of like buying those and cutting off pieces. Those are things that you would add in like on centerpieces, and adding in some of those into my project, which I'm just going to stick a few of them in, just to give it a little bit of that holiday fall look. And I'll take another piece of that. There's so many of them on here, it's like you never know where to clip them off of. I like buying those because they're really inexpensive, and just a little bit of those things could really highlight your project, what you're working on. Okay, and let's see what else we have here. Okay, I also have some of these that are also from Michael's, and I'm just going to take a couple of twigs here and there just to add them in also as a highlight. So, and since this is orange, I just like to add it to where I think it needs a little bit of splash, like right there. And then, let's see, I'm going to go into my package here. Oh, wait a second, I'm sorry, I already have one open. Here's another berry item from Wild Orchid Crafts as well. I'm just going to snatch off this little cone here, and I'm going to put that in there too. And I put that right next to the bow, looking very pretty. Okay, and I am going to take another one of these orange balls off of here and just put them somewhere, put the orange somewhere where I think it's going to look cool. Okay, I'll put it over here actually. That looks like I could use a little bit of color. And so I'm also going to show you something that I'm not too sure if you guys are really going to be interested in doing this, but on this one here I have a couple of leaves that I made, and I just want to show you how I went about doing that. And just in case if you were interested, I'll just give you a quick leaf tutorial that I like. And I'm just using some stash paper from Graphic 45, and I don't know which one it's from, but that's okay, it's not important now. And I just cut two of those out using this punch bunch. It's pretty big. I got this at Amazon.com. And I'm going to go ahead and, let me see, which side is going to look better. I'm going to use the polka dotted side. So you're just going to take your, you can use the back of a pencil, or you can use the back of a wide paintbrush. If you don't have this pad from McGill, then you can use a mouse pad. And I'm just going to go ahead and loosen up the fibers on this so that it gives me a really nice rounded off leaf. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. Nothing fancy, I'm just breaking up the fibers. And then I'm going to run this right down the center here, just to give it like a vein, which I just ripped the paper a little bit, but that's okay. This is all handmade, so it's perfect. We can make mistakes. We're allowed, right, guys? Okay. And so, let me see where this is going to go. Okay. Okay. Alright. Just going to put a little glue on the back of that. Just going to move some stuff over here and stick it down. And I kind of like the way that looks because it has a leaf look and it just has like the pattern paper idea on there. I'll put the other one on the other side. I don't really sweat the small stuff when I'm crafting because in the end it winds up all fitting together anyway. And so that's really basically it, friends. You have a really cute boot tutorial here on how to embellish a witch's boot, and you have the template that will be on my blog, which I'll have linked below for you in the drop down box, and this really cute way of how I designed a really sweet little Halloween project that you can give as a gift to anyone or hang in your house. Now, as far as it having a little hanging thingy over here, I may just put like a little hook in the back, like a curtain hook, and just hang it right on the door or on the side somewhere where all the little Halloween things are. So I really hope that you liked this project, and like I said, everything will be in the drop down box below, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing this tutorial, and please stay tuned. Have a good day.